Welcome to the Job Seeker Spotlight. We are here today with Tina McLelland. Tina, take a minute to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks, Sandy. My name is Tina McClelland, and I'm an IT leader, and I have experience with Agile digital transformation. I'm passionate about helping organizations understand the why transformation is so important. I worked over a decade, both on the business and IT side, mainly focusing on project and program management, and then into Agile transformation. I have a track record of bringing people together and delivering quality results.
Perfect. And what company are you coming out of?
I'm coming out of American Airlines.
Perfect. And what does next look like for you?
For me next, I really want to take some time to make sure that I join a company where my skills that I've learned through the last few decades complement them and their vision of where they're going. I want to ensure there's a growth pattern and kind of a process in place to arrive there. I just want to make sure that I'm serving that company well, and more importantly, their employees.
Very good. And so, in that ideal role, kind of what are some other qualities that you're looking for?
So for me, with the experience I bring, I really want a seat at the table, like a strategic role, a position where
Absolutely.
I want to positively influence the process and projects. I want to become that trusted advisor. I'm very passionate about that. I really would like a company that supports developing their teams. I am so passionate about pouring into my teams. There's nothing greater than seeing a team member go into an area and just shine. It's like a proud mama
Absolutely.
moment. And I love to stand up teams and see their growth there. So basically, it's a place that fosters and supports relationships and to motivate and recognize employees for doing their great work.
Perfect. I love the way you described that. I can relate to it a little bit when job seekers land. I didn't do that work. Like I helped them create a resume, I helped them maybe with strategy, but they did it. And there's this kind of proud mama moment of this is what we coach for. And so I relate. I think there's something very intrinsically rewarding when you go out and you help somebody else to achieve a goal. To me, that's even more rewarding than when I attain my own goals. And so I get
Absolutely.
it. Very good. And so in your next company, kind of what qualities are you looking for in a target company?
For me, and it's funny how my career has kind of developed, and you organically land in your passion areas if you really listen to
Sure.
yourself. Because when you're working on something
Mhm.
that's hard, it's normally because it's not in your passion area, right? When you're in your passion area, you don't feel like you're working. So for me, the company has to have like a really good culture. I'm passionate. I'm willing to roll up my sleeves and put a lot of work into that as well because it is an area of
Mm.
interest of me. Um, I want to make sure that they invest in their people and their leaders and they're forward thinking. I want someone innovative and do they walk their own talk, right? A lot of companies will put that out there, but if you sit back and research the company, they're stale or they're just not moving in that
Mhm.
direction yet.
Sure. And I get it. And I like what you're saying here. And I want to point out that every time I talk to you, I feel inspired as a leader. So I can imagine what working with you would be like because there are times that you're talking and I'm like, I need to implement that. I need to tell my team that. Like there is always something that you say that inspires me. And as a business owner and as a corporate leader, I would absolutely thrive in an environment where you were consistently coming alongside me, coaching me into transforming our thought processes. It's beyond just business operations. And it's more into developing people, developing thought processes that are organized and agile. And so that's what I hear from you every time we speak. And I huge compliments to you on that, because that means that is you're comfortable in that expertise and you've taken time to refine those skills and communication approach.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
You're very welcome. What accomplishments are you most proud of in your career?
Oh my goodness. There's so many, and just so many people, but I'll just talk about the most recent, right? So
Sure.
all these companies and obviously the size of American Airlines is huge. So going from in 2019, the company went from a project base to a product base. So you can imagine in IT, you have to partner with finance and business and get everybody to understand, what does that mean? What are your products? And it sounds easy till you get everybody in a room and
Sure.
getting their definition. So I led a team of amazing people who were able to help tackle that with me. And I went in, I built the relationships with the leaders, became that trusted advisor, and had those really hard and sometimes unpleasant workshops, which
Right.
everybody was striving to do the right thing, but they came
Mhm.
out of it meeting a very aggressive timeline. And it was so important because they had to get their products in so they could get their budget. So as we came out of 2019, we rolled right into 2020, and this is really my proud moment. We were able to roll out a delivery transformation, one of the pillars at American Airlines. And I had the pleasure of working with a vice president who is very forward thinking and passionate and cared about his people, and he was all in. And I got to meet with his leaders, and we had the conversations, and believe me, we don't like this, we like that. So my team quickly, we customized and we met them where they were at. And I take pride in that. You have to meet teams where they're at, because just going off a script doesn't work.
Love
So
it.
we met them and we got them through the change, if you will. And when you see the mindset change in people and they get it and they start thinking and working that way, it's just like, aha, it's just the best
Absolutely.
thing ever. So.
Absolutely. I love it. I absolutely love it. What would you tell me your top skills are?
Oh, geez. My top skills. I think I'm a good communicator. I'm very positive, even when things are hitting the fan. You got to come up and think, okay, fine, it happened. Now, how can we approach this? I have a lot of empathy, but I am a driver. I don't want anyone to mistake empathy for just being a nice guy. I can have those hard conversations I'm very comfortable having, but
Mhm.
all you're seeking a positive outcome from those
Right.
conversations. My time management is good, and I'm a connector. Naturally and organically, I'm a connector that brings the right people to the table to make the decisions. And I find
Sure.
value in everyone, even if they're not in the right role at that time. So I
Very,
consider
very good.
myself a leader.
Very good. What are your core values?
For me, it's trust, transparency. You've heard me mention trusted advisor a few times, and
Yeah.
that's really because when you get in with people, it's one thing to just say, hey, tell me, what's going on, but for them to pull back the sheets and show you what's under the covers, it takes trust, and you have to hold that close to you. So I respect
Sure.
that. It's integrity. I believe no matter how hard the conversation has to be, you deliver it with kindness and compassion as much as you can. And for me, a core value is collaboration and innovative.
Sure.
So yeah, I have a competitive spirit. So when you partner that along with my core values, I'd say it results in me exceeding expectations or wanting to.
Very good. Very good. Uh, so I know you've given us a lot to think about on your achievements combined with your values and what you're, most proud of in your career. Um, let's kind of summarize that for people, if you will, on if you had to pick one phrase to describe your brand, what would that be?
You don't make this easy, do you?
I don't. I
I
don't.
For me, it would be one of the words, and I'll stick to one. It would be influencer.
I think that's a great one to support you and what you do as a transformation leader. So, you and I have talked a lot about this and kind of joking in passing that process improvement has now become like the buzzword, like project management was 5 years ago, where everybody who's ever managed like their own personal move became a project manager. And then now that's the thing with process improvement. It's like anyone who worked at Brahms and moved the strawberries next to the ice cream has now improved workflow and is a process improvement specialist. So we're seeing this across the board. How do you combat not not allowing that terminology to become watered down into what your expertise is and really standing out to say, hey, I'm not just one of those people who says process improvement or says transformation. This is what I am skilled in, my expertise is in, and what is ingrained in me.
So what I have found, you can't just say it. You have to do it. And so
Yeah.
like people who influence, you come together, you empower people that normally organically would not work together or not work well together. You have them at the table. You're that go-between as they build the trust and realize they're working toward the common goal. And once
Right.
you start delivering productive, innovative, like comprehensive solutions, they're all in. And then that's where we can show the value. Like anyone who's in this role, in my opinion, it's probably a very selfish one, but it's a much needed role because anybody can say it, anybody can think it's fluff, but when you
Sure.
see it happening and you're that connector, it's such a valued role.
Great answer. What is one thing you wish recruiters or hiring managers knew about you?
So when you walk out of an interview, you always say, oh, I wish they knew how energetic or enthusiasm. I'm passionate. I'm a hands-on leader. I'm not one just to give out assignments and walk away. I want to be
Sure.
involved in the process. I'm focused on helping every team member succeed, even if it's not my team.
Right.
If you go across the aisle and partner with someone else, that's what we should all be doing. It doesn't matter what your title is. So it's not always easy, but I like to challenge the status quo, and I do it quite often because we need to make sure we're delivering the highest quality product, if you will. And we just need to make sure we encourage our teams. We want them to be creative and innovative
Sure.
and think outside the box because when you stop doing that, you just get
Mhm.
stale. Your company becomes stale.
Right. I agree. And how can people reach you?
Oh, they can reach me on LinkedIn.
We're going to
I'm
tag you in that, by
Christine.
the way.
Perfect. Christine, quotations Tina. You can thank my mother for that one. She nicknamed me Tina. On LinkedIn or TT McClelland, which is McClelland at yahoo.com. Or you know what? The type of person I am, just call me directly, 412-310-1954.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this with us today. And we are really encouraging hiring managers and recruiters to reach out if you are in the need of a business transformation leader, an agile transformation specialist. Reach out to Tina. She is definitely somebody to consider and will make a huge impact in your organization. So reach out to her. We'll tag her in the comments to make that easier.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.